The Clown Show, Kosho, June 2021.
Moak's point is exactly correct. That's what validates your hypothesis, is that the independent variable does change the dependent variable, but also you've predicted what the dependent variable would be based on your hypothesis, which you have to know the size of the Earth, the fact that it's a sphere, what equation you use to tell you how the latitude is going to affect your the rate at which it precesses. So the fact that you can make that prediction and you get it correct validates your hypothesis, which was based on the Earth being a globe.
Have you ever had a dream that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
The hypothesis would be that if the Earth is rotating, then it's going to be, you can swing a pendulum back and forth, and it would precess at different rates depending on how far from the North Pole you were.
Wrong. That's not a scientific hypothesis. You don't have a viable independent variable, the cause, or dependent variable, the effect. You'd fail 5th grade general science. You do, however, have an affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy. If the Earth is rotating P, then you can swing a pendulum back and forth and it will precess at different rates depending on how far from the North Pole you are. Q. We observe pendulum precession, Q. Therefore the Earth is rotating. Therefore P. Congratulations! You'd not only fail 5th grade general science, you'd bollow a 60-level basic reasoning course. You're also guilty of
petitio principii, the logical fallacy of begging the question. A particular argument which commits the fallacy of begging the question, a circular argument.
You're assuming the Earth rotating, which is the very thing you're attempting to prove.
Ay, caramba!
What's your independent variable when you do the test?
The independent variable would be the pendulum swinging. The independent variable is going to be your latitude.
What the hell did you just say?
The independent variable would be the pendulum swinging. The independent variable is going to be your latitude. The independent variable would be the pendulum. The pendulum swinging. The independent variable is going to be your latitude.
You double-speaking Dunning-Kruger numpty dipshit. Neither are viable independent variables anyway. Fairy tale latitudes nor swinging pendulums cause anything. They most certainly don't cause the Earth to rotate. You dizzy doofus. Your bass-ack words within a non sequitur fallacy.
I'm only going to say it very quickly one time. The cause and effect relationship that's being spoken to that says that needs to be there. It's not the cause and effect relationship of the effect of what you're trying to find overall of the phenomena you're discovering. The cause and effect relationship is strictly about the independent variable and the dependent variable, meaning the independent variable has to be the thing that changes the dependent variable. That's all it's meant. So when you ask what the independent variable is, that's why Scott said the latitudes.
Have you ever had a dream that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
Moyak wanted to figure out if they were leather or not. How is that pseudoscience?
You could figure out whether something is made of leather or not, but that isn't natural science. Natural science is governed by hypothesis testing, which is only predictional suppositions in the natural cause and effect relationships. There's no cause and effect here. Now, if you went parading around touting that your ass sling, slobber bib, or straitjacket is made out of leather and it was scientifically validated, then that would be pseudoscience. Since pseudoscience is defined as beliefs or practices mistakenly regarded as being based on the scientific method.
I know it's not cause and effect relationship, but that's my point. Is it science is not limited to cause and effect relationships.
You serious?
Like I always say, folks, just let them speak. They'll bash their own faces in with a spade shovel, often over and over again within seconds. Oh, numpty. From Nature.com, Baltard High Priest Sean Carroll, California Institute of Technology physicist Sean Carroll arguing in The Edge that hypotheses aren't simply useful tools in some potentially outmoded vision of science. They are the whole point. So, what's a scientific hypothesis? From coloradostate.edu, scientific hypothesis, a special kind of prediction that forecasts how the independent variable will affect the dependent variable. From pennstate.edu, the scientist applies his or her present knowledge to predict the effect of the independent variable on the dependent variable. The prediction is a statement of the expected results of the experiment based on the hypothesis. So if scientific hypotheses are the whole point in natural science, they are. And scientific hypotheses contain independent and dependent variables, they do. And if the independent variable is the cause factor and the dependent variable is the effect, they are. Therefore, natural science only adjudicates cause and effect relationships.
Hosmer with a drive. Cheese and crackers.
Next block of instruction, how to close your eyelids when lying down. Clown.
If you want to know if the shoes are made of real leather or fake leather, it's not a guess. You can figure that out.
It's not science then, all right?
You still use science, yeah.
Yeah, I just got done explaining it, you booger-eating schmucks. And by the mere fact that I had to explain it to you, demonstrates beyond any shadow of a doubt that you schnoz particle chefs wouldn't know what actual natural science was if it landed on your faces, spun around, and whistled Dixie.
No, without the walls of the container, there'll be no gas pressure.
Exactly.
We know this.
I don't know why you keep making this up, Kosho.
Oh, you don't know this.
Calling all cars. We have
Numpty dipshit.
all cars. Please assist. All cars. Please assist.
We don't know this, eh? From the king booger eater himself. We know this because that's how gas pressure is defined. For crying out loud. From the chemistry department at elmhurst.edu. The pressure of a gas is the force that the gas exerts on the walls of its container. From nasa.gov, gas pressure. The molecules are in constant random motion and frequently collide with each other and the walls of a container. Because the molecules are in random motion, a gas will expand to fill the container. Since density is defined to be the mass divided by the volume, density depends directly on the size of the container in which a fixed mass of gas is confined. Back to the chemistry department at elmhurst.edu. Kinetic molecular theory explanation of Boyle's gas law. Observations about pressure may be explained using the following ideas. The rapid motion and collisions of molecules with the walls of the container causes pressure. Force on a unit area. Pressure is proportional to the number of molecular collisions and the force of the collisions in a particular area. The more collisions of gas molecules with the walls, the higher the pressure. From Chem Libre text, gas pressure. Pressure is caused by gas molecules hitting the walls of the container. With a smaller volume, the gas molecules will hit the walls more frequently, and so the pressure increases.
Oh, son of a... That's gonna leave a mark.
You dumbass.
Not all science requires experiments.
You serious?
Nothing like chopping your own booger-eating face off. Natural science requires experiment. It's the bedrock foundational cornerstone. From the University of Rochester Physics Labs, the scientific method distinguishes science from other forms of explanation because of its requirement of systematic experimentation. From Lieu's E.G., Introduction to Theory and Application of Molecular and Quantum Mechanics, the final arbiter of truth in science is experiment. From Professor Shankar, Chair of Physics, Yale. The only way things change in physics is experiments. Everything is based on experiment. That's the only way we change our mind. From Max Planck, experiment is the only means of knowledge at our disposal. Everything else is poetry, imagination. From Richard Feynman, if it doesn't agree with experiment, it's wrong. In that simple statement is the key to science.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over.
I'm trying to say something to you, man, because that way you don't say this anymore.
Huh? What is up with you, dude? Every single time you open up that religitard, incoherent blowhole of yours, with two or more streams of thought whistling around the funhouse mirrors between your ears, the innocent onlookers are pelted with a carpet bomb barrage of utterly meaningless sentence fragments. Perhaps you should consider centralining Adderall. Just a thought.
Nobody's claiming that the geometric horizon is visually blocking anything.
What on earth? That's been the foundation of the entire ball-tard-spinning space monkey religion that we've heard incessantly over the past 5 years. What the kind of angel dust-laced shrooms are you on? Good Lord, son. This is tantamount to Catholics denying the existence of the Virgin Mary. Folks, this guy is a grade A moron. He makes shit up on the fly, but if it constitutes more than 6 words or 2 trains of thought, whichever comes first, then the fragmented, convoluted verbal diarrhea monsoon ensues. Anyone that can fog a mirror is lost in a never-ending tangle of batshit insane, incoherent, disconnected drivel. You'll get more sneak peeks into this imbecillery here, continuing with his own wing on the Numpty clips. Stay tuned. Here's one.
So there is an actual horizon. There's a geometric horizon, which is the actual tangent line. And then there's the one that you see. And the one that you see is defined by you seeing it. So you're not expected to see the other one.
We'll deal with that nonsense later. Here's another one.
Hold on, man. Hold on. That's the regular. That's just the horizon. The horizon is the place where it apparently looks like is blocking the things behind it or whatever.
The prosecution rests. The really scary part, which you've heard so far, is benign compared with his usual standard fare. This is what happens to the unsuspecting poor sap that runs into this crayon muncher. You're absolutely baffled by what you just heard, and you try to reconcile it quickly, But while you're trying to harpoon a line into the incoherent maelstrom wall, he senses the last grasp for life and volleys the next befuddling, batshit insane buffoonery out of his incoherent blowhole. Even if there were 3 full days between Clown Show's first statement and second, Bobby Fischer would claim a time foul.
But the geometric horizon is defined differently than that. It's not defined by something you see.
What? You saying we have invisible horizons in Globetardia? There's no such thing as a non-visible horizon, you window-licking knuckle-dragger. Seeing it is the quintessential attribute of the term horizon. You can't have a non-visible horizon, just like you can't have non-visible rainbows. Next block of instruction, how to stand up on Christmas.
I've got it for you, the definition. Yeah. Okay. So the geometric horizon is also called the local horizon, is the visible boundary between the earth and the sky.
Yeah, I know exactly what article this is from.
Yeah, you know where it's from, because I personally busted your dumb ass with it no less than 5 times on Betty's server and 24/7.
It's from an article from Nat Geo, and that Nat Geo article either made a typo or they didn't edit it correctly, but they typed it out wrong. So there is an actual horizon.
Yes, it's called the local or geometric horizon, which is apparent and visible.
There's a geometric horizon, which is the actual tangent line.
The geometric horizon isn't a tangent line.
And then there's the one that you see.
Yes, it's called the geometric horizon.
And the one that you see is defined by you seeing it.
The one that I see is defined by what it is. The local or geometric horizon, which is visible by definition.
So you're not expected to see the other one.
There isn't another one. You conjured it.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. You're moving into a land of
bullshittery.
You've just crossed over into
the numpty zone.
You are so dumb. Damn.
No.
What's up,
that's
man?
the chocolate. The chocolate. What were you talking about? Which argument or what you said you destroyed me?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kosho. But you once declared that the rotating hurricanes were actually going in a straight line. They just appeared to rotate because we were on a rotating reference frame.
It's 100% true that the winds are going in a straight line.
And
there's no reason for them to travel.
I wasn't lying, guys.
No reason for them to travel in a circle on their own. So the Earth is rotating. But when they start off their travel, they're going north or south, depending on. So the high pressures are going to go towards the south.
Say winds all go in straight line.
It's 100% true that the winds are going in a straight line.
It's 100% true that you're a numpty dipshit. From sciencing.com, wind does not simply blow in a straight line from areas of high to low pressure.
You dumbass.
So, you right.
You right.
You right. The observer can change reference frames.
That's not what you said a few minutes ago. You said,
you don't leave an reference frame and enter another reference frame. So, you right.
You right.
You right. The observer can change reference frames. You don't leave an reference frame and enter another reference frame.
So you're not only an imbecile, you're a fork-tongued doublespeaker.
You don't leave an reference frame and enter another reference frame.
So you're saying I can't leave a reference frame and enter another? So I can't jump off a swing onto the ground and enter a reference frame that's not swinging? Do you reminisce with complete strangers? You're an imbecile!
You're always in all reference frames.
Village idiot.
So when I jump off the swing, I'm still in the swinging reference frame? And in the Hunt for Red October, cavitating reference frame? And then the Felix Baumgartner Planet New Mexico reference frame? And Auntie M's Twister reference frame? And in Xanax Spinning Hot Tub Torpedo reference frame? Ad infinitum. All at the same time? Eh?
You big dummy.
You're an imbecile. With the quintessential poster child example of every single time you open up that religitard incoherent blowhole of yours with two or more streams of thought whistling around the funhouse mirrors between your ears, the innocent onlookers are pelted with a carpet bomb barrage of utterly meaningless sentence fragments. I present.
Yeah, it's upsetting to see that. Fuck, I forgot what I was going to say. I think someone's going to say something. Oh yeah, right. I was just going to say that. I remember I looked into this. I don't know, 2 years ago, or whatever. Because everyone always. This is one of the things that is like kind of beneficial, but like coming into these arguments or whatever, because it's one of those things that I think I had like people have a general idea of how it works, but you don't really get into the nitty gritty and really see what misunderstandings you have about it until you're faced with this argument. But I remember when I was looking into it, almost every explanation that I saw was people started out saying that most people have a misconception about this. Even some explanations are wrong. And I was like, what? And then, and it's not intuitive at all. Like, it's not something that you would just guess is happening. So, but yeah, totally, it completely makes sense. You just have to kind of know how all the things are working.
Have you ever had a dream that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
Calling all cars. We have
Numpty dipshit.
all cars. Please assist. All cars. Please assist.
Psst. You will never, ever recover. Spinning space monkeys. Spinning space monkeys.
You know who this is? No. Bye-bye, lard ass.